Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 505 for the week of June 22nd, 2021. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here with me this week?
Brock Sager.
And Charlie.
Oh, that's it. That's it. No Kevin.
Look at that.
Toby's
Look at that.
joining
That sounds
us
so
at some
beautiful,
point.
doesn't it, Ryan? Just a straight intro.
And Charlie.
See, I almost feel like I should have just left the silence there a bit longer so people start going, wow, it's an OG podcast.
Well, I'll edit out that silence anyway. So, what's funny? Talk about OG podcast. We are starting with something we have not had in quite some time because there's been some change in the way and kind of what we're doing. I'll tell you about that in a second. But we are going to start with sales charts.
Uh-oh.
What? They're back. Sales charts are back. Can you believe it? And I'll tell you what's going on. So Comic-Con, which is the company we like to read the sales charts off, they've had their estimates. They've been slowly filling in the gaps. They don't have the same numbers and the same data that they did before, but they're still pulling from their sources on ordering numbers and where these numbers, where the books fit. They have their own system. So, these are not like official from the distributor, kind of like the way we had from Diamond before. But, after all of this time, Comic-Con has been pretty good about, they seem fairly accurate. Maybe not. The numbers have always been a little on the low side, companies have said, but at least their chart position has been relatively accurate. The reason it's a little bit different this month is thanks to our good friend Adam, who's one of our customers at the shop and a programmer and Excel master. He was able to pull some numbers out of Comic Hub for us and give us our own sales charts. So not only do we have the industry estimates, we also have our physical sales charts for the month of May 2021. And we're going to look how they compare to the industry. Again, there are no specific numbers here, at least for the industry numbers, but we'll see where all our books line up. I know guys are a little rusty. But do you want to make some guesses? Do you remember some comics came out in May 2021? Do you want to take a guess of what could be in either? We'll do the industry sales charts, and then we'll do. I'll go through our list. And
See,
like I said,
I love the fact.
have.
I love the fact that I can answer is I have no clue what came out, but I can just start with Batman and be safe.
Yeah.
Well, yes,
Specifically, Batman's Fortnite.
It's always safe to start with Batman. And I was going to say, so a couple of things, because Diamond is not reporting reorders, they're not reporting other numbers. So he actually makes a note in the article from the May sales charts on Comic-Con that something like Batman Fortnite 0.1 probably would have been pretty high on the sales chart list based on how under-ordered that first issue was. Mm-hmm. So it seems like, it's very likely that you'd get, certain books would be higher in the charts, but Diamond, since the pandemic, has not put out their traditional sales chart numbers. So we just have to go with initial orders here. But of course, there's going to be some Batman and Batman-related characters. The world hasn't changed that much in the last year.
Nope.
And if we want to go from the sales charts estimates here, let's go with the number 9 and number 8. That is Batman Fortnite 0.3 and 2. Those are the Batman Fortnite crossover books. Number 6 would be
3 did better than 2, right?
2 did better than 3. Remember, we ordered 1, 2, and 3 before 1 shipped.
Even with that Jim Lee cover for 3?
Surprisingly enough, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Number 6 is the Joker, number 3. And, of course, number 1 is Batman 108. That is the debut of Miracle Molly, who is the next character they're trying to make into something. So, what else we got?
Is there Amazing Spider-Man?
Ooh, I think so. Amazing Spider-Man just cracks the top 10 at number 10 at this issue number 65. Oh, and I should point out, too, that we don't have industry percents, reorder, graphic novel, none of that stuff. No, I can get our own graphic novel sales charts if I want to for future months, but just for this, it's just the comic book estimates. So,
shoot, what came out? That Heroes Return Reborn, whatever that Marvel event thing was.
Heroes Reborn #1 exactly is the number 3 title.
So we have what, 2, 3?
You got 1.
1.
Well, so you guys, you got 10 of the Spidey. 9 and 8 is Batman Fortnite. You're missing number 7.
Okay.
This is, I would call it.
I'm just too busy going, I kind of wish they wouldn't reuse titles.
Number 7 is, I would say, a big event book. It is a alternate history. It's kind of an alternate future what if story. It's a quarterly title. It's a funky size. I'm actually surprised it's not higher in the sales charts.
Other history of the DC universe?
It's close. No, not DC. Think Dark Knight. It's Batman related. It's Batman like, I should say. Not Batman related. It's Batman like.
Batman like?
Batman like. Yeah.
Did I get this book?
That would be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin.
Oh,
I was wondering if that's where you were going with that, just because of the Dark Knight stuff, until you went Batman like, in which case I'm like, I don't consider that book Batman-like.
Well, no, in that it is their Dark Knight, right?
Yes.
Dark Knights.
So we got number 6, which is Joker. Number 5, an independent book tearing up the charts. One of the best-selling independent books of the last, I would say, probably decade, just based on recent numbers.
It's either Something is Killing the Children.
And you got it in the first one. Something is Killing the Children. Number 16 is a number 5 book, which, again, continues to just totally dominate the sales charts for indie titles. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing how good the sales in that book has been. It's James Tynion, really good title.
Well, he has Batman. He has Something is Killing the Children.
Yep.
And yeah, that's at least 2 of his titles.
Yep. No, they are big books. Big books.
So are we missing any more, or we get them all?
Yep. Nope. You are missing number 4, which is you're missing number 4 and number 2. Number 4 is a DC title. It's an issue number 1. It's a new series. It is a mini series. It's a newish character. Pretty popular.
What newish character, new character?
Pretty cool variant cover that we got from the store. A nice shiny variant cover.
It's not Crush and Lobo.
Nope, you're close. Static. Same time. Roughly same. It came out like right around the same time. New character. You got it. You got all like 7 covers, Brock.
I got all 7 covers?
Yeah. Kevin Sharp would absolutely get a commission if her commission list was ever open.
Mr. Miracle? No, that one didn't have a shiny one.
Nope. If her commission list was ever open.
Oh, Wonder Girl.
Wonder Girl.
Joelle Jones.
Yeah.
If I had money, I would get on her commission list.
And number 2, it's the first part of a major crossover. Ryan went big. Ryan went super big, hoping for some of that spec money boom when the new season of Mandalorian launches.
Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha.
That is correct. That black costume Boba Fett armor. I literally wrote to Marvel and I said, "What are the odds this armor is going to show up in like Mandalorian?" Because it's a new costume, right? They're like, which is hope that'd be amazing, but we just do it for the comics. I'm like, yeah, let's get some of these for the future. So new black costume Boba Fett armor. Look at that. It's his Venom suit.
Oh God, please don't. We don't need a Star Wars Venom crossover idea.
We'll see if that book goes somewhere. So now comics conspiracies sales for the same time frame. It's pretty interesting too, because not only does our wonderful new Comic Hub sales charts be able to sort for sold, it actually also includes the what do they call it? The aside quantities. So books still in people's pull boxes that have not paid for them yet, but that stuff is all basically paid for, right? I mean, these are regular. It combines variant covers. It can break down the variant cover per book to see. It'll tell me what number sold what, but it does combine everything into a total. So our top list is not too different. It's mostly the same titles, although of course there's going to be one in there that's not too much of a surprise. They just showed up a little bit higher than in our sales charts as opposed to other stores. Number 10 is Something is Killing the Children 16. Number 9 is Rorschach. Number 8, of course, all the Tom King stuff, so it was a good seller. Number 8 is Batman Fortnite, 0 Point number 2. Number 7, Geiger, number 2, of course. Yeah. Jeff Johns and Gary Frank, very good seller in our store. Number 6 is Heroes Reborn, number 1. Number 5 is Joker. Number 3, number 4 is Star Wars Bounty Hunter Alpha, number 1. Number 3 is Batman Fortnite, 0 Point number 3, and that was that Jim Lee Boom Lee sold a lot of extra copies because that Jim Lee Snake Eyes cover. Number 2 is Wonder Girl number 1, and of course number 1 is Batman 108. Pretty sizable sales for those top 5 titles. They're big numbers. So yeah, and I love the fact that we have these sales charts now because it's a really cool way he gets this list sorted. So not only does it tell you, it exports the data but puts everything in an order that's automated, which is how I like stuff. Sold plus copies in people's aside. It does it by value. It does it by value aside. You can merge variants. You can actually merge series. So I could just look at, like, Batman was obviously our number 1, but it was also our number 1 as far as all comics sold. So if you take every single issue sold during the month of May, regardless of what it was, Batman was the number 1 title because it includes all the issues of Batman we sold across every copy. Heroes Reborn was actually our number 2 book, but that's because we had Heroes Reborn 1, 2, 3, and 4 all came out in the same month of May, right? Yeah. And Batman 0 Point was our number 3 title across issues number 1, 2, and 3, multiple printings there as well on number 1 and number 2. So we'll Joker number 4, Wonder Girl number 5, and Geiger number 6. Again, that's multiple printings, 1, 2, and 3 for Geiger, and multiple printings on just some copies. Our last copies of Geiger 1, and then multiple printings on number 1 for second and third printing. So, yeah, good sales across the board. So I love the fact that we got these sales charts back. Yeah, it's not going to be exactly the same as it was before, but it's at least a look into our store and some estimates for the industry. So we'll.
So, do you think sales charts are going to make a comeback with some of the news that dropped recently?
Well, I just don't think that there's any. I don't know that there'll be any way to really do sales charts unless Diamond or Lunar start actively releasing numbers. As far as news, I'm not sure what you mean. So what's the
Lunar news?
Oh, well, that was one of our other news stories for this week, which I actually let me go back since we're talking Lunar. Why don't we go into the story? I had completely missed this. I don't know that I saw this mentioned anywhere else, but Lunar, which is the company that is now the distributor for DC, for the single issues exclusive distributor, and then also is one of the distributors for Scout Comics. Mm-hmm. In an interview with them, they said that once Penguin Random House, which is the company that's going to be the main distributor for Marvel Comics starting in October, that they will be able to sub-distribute Marvel titles. So that means that, like the way Diamond is going to get... So right now, go back 2 years, Diamond Comics is the distributor for Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Horse, IDW, Boom, Valiant, you name it. Single issue comics, they distribute almost every company exclusively. So DC leaves entirely. They leave Diamond entirely. They go to make a new company called Lunar. Marvel announced earlier this year that they are going to be moving to Penguin Random House, which is one of, if not, it might be the biggest book distributor in the country. They are going to be distributing not only their graphic novels, but they're single issue comics. So Penguin Random House is going to be distributing Marvel comics. Now, Diamond can purchase from Penguin Random House. Mm-hmm. Diamond can purchase Marvel comics and redistribute them. But if you're a store that gets any, decent amount of product, you're going to be losing a significant amount of money because you still have to pay Diamond. So, in a similar fashion, I guess it makes sense that Lunar can also sub-distribute Marvel comics now. I don't know how many people will take advantage of that. I'm not sure why they would.
Well, the only reason you would think some people might take advantage of that is that whole get it from one place kind of mentality.
Right, but I would think just get it from Diamond if that's the case, right?
But you can't get your DC from Diamond.
No. But
so this would be basically getting the big two from one company rather than getting one of the big two from Lunar and one of the big two from Diamond or Penguin. It's
a substantial loss of revenue, though. I would think it does not make sense for most stores. I think our number, including shipping charges, would be something like 7%, which is just not feasible.
We've talked about how a lot of these companies who have really banked on the discounts and stuff that they were getting through Diamond and stuff previously are going to have to evolve in some way with this shift. So it makes sense that unless you are dead set against using multiple distributors, that you would go with wherever would save you the most money.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because we obviously right now, we went from getting one shipment a week that had basically everything to now it's literally daily shipments. Lunar comes one day, usually Fridays, sometimes Thursdays, sometimes Mondays. Diamond comes Tuesday. Diamond Restock now ships separate, so that can come Wednesday or Thursday. Penguin Random House Restock, which we use for most of our graphic novels, can come, it's usually Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. So there is almost, and we use Entertainment Earth now, which is a toy distributor. So there's almost no day where we are not receiving a shipment. Add Penguin Random House into the mix when it comes to single issue Marvel titles. Who even knows? Like, it's nuts. It's just nuts. So it has changed how we have to do things. It's not bad.
But the thing too is if you're going through, if you don't go through Penguin Random House, and then it still has to go to Lunar or Diamond, there's potential for even further delays because of that extra added shipping, right? Like,
I would think they said that they are going to get it at the same time. I don't see how that's really possible, but I mean, I suppose you can.
Well, then maybe they have from the warehouse. From the warehouse, from the printer, it would go straight to what was like an order would go straight to Lunar and an order would go straight to Diamond, versus going to Penguin Random House and then back out.
Yeah, you would think that we would get the shipment at the same time Diamond gets their shipment from Penguin Random House, but that appears to not be the case. According to Diamond, they will get it. We will get our shipment at the same time if we use Diamond. So they're going to have some heads up as a sub distributor, but yeah, I don't see too many people using that. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean we talked about Diamond. I mean, they're basically going to be losing Marvel again. And the only thing that's really holding on for them is the people that are Diamond fanatics and love Diamond, which is a very dwindling group. Yeah.
It's not personal. It's just business. I have no problem with Diamond, but when it's Diamond or a 7 or 8% discount, I'll take the 7 or 8% discount.
Yeah.
There is a point where it's service or quality over discount. Absolutely, right? If it was a case of like 1% or 2%, and Diamond was just offering way better service, then sure, I'll stick with the better service. But Diamond has had traditionally subpar service. Penguin Random House, while they have their issues, they seem committed to changing the way they ship for single issue comics, and the packages we get from them are it is almost never a shortage or overage issue. I think I can count on one hand how many times we've not received the product that we were billed for or received an additional product. There is one time I can think of where we were billed for the wrong item and received the wrong item. And I really think there was one time something was missing. That's it. That's hundreds of deliveries. Where it is a regular that we are missing.
We were missing copies of like a big book's main cover this week.
Multiple, and multiple books completely missing from our Diamond shipment last week, and that is just, I don't even get mad. It's just normal, right? It is significant.
Yeah, it's interesting what can become the normal.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, like, Lunar shipments are, they're amazing.
Yeah, Lunar is, I would say, 99.9% accurate, and the absolute minor damages we have, I generally don't care enough to report. We did receive for the first time ever a significant overage last week. They doubled up our shipment on one of the books, but that is the first time in a year that we've had anything like that happen. And we had one significant damage from shipping really early, but again, that was a shipping problem, not the way they packed it. It was like, no one could have prevented that box from not being destroyed. So that's not, I don't blame them. I blame the shipper. I blame FedEx on that. And again, FedEx is usually fine. And then the amount of times we've had books shorted, if there's a shortage, it's one copy of one book, and that's it. And that's the most. And I think we went something like 16 weeks with perfect shipments. I've not had 16 perfect shipments from Diamond in the 30 years the store's been open.
You know, I really wish you had like one of those signs in the back room, like weeks with perfect shipment. You just have to keep resetting.
Yeah.
No, it just gets negative numbers at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, so what do you think this means for like a Diamond, at least? I mean, as a retailer, you've now moved to Penguin Random House. You've moved to Entertainment Earth. You've basically, I mean, the ironic thing is the only thing Diamond seems to ship decently is actual books.
Yeah. So their shipping has been better. It's just their lack of product.
Honestly, I don't necessarily question what's going to happen to Diamond one way or the other. I'm actually more curious about sort of the indie titles, as everything is sort of shifting around, as Diamond has to decide what their new identity is going to be.
Well, they
survive.
They are pushing hard on toys right when I finally give up on them because they suck ass at shipping toys. They're so late. They're so behind, and I don't understand.
Well, the best was the shipment we got last week, where 2 toy boxes were put on top of the pallet with a small Diamond box in between and then pushed together and saran wrapped. So the 2 big boxes got condensed with one box in between, which damaged stuff that was in either of the big boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the toys through Diamond are I would say really overpriced. I think the pricing is pretty fair, but they're just so late. I don't know what it is. They assigned with Funko to be like an approved executive distributor or some nonsense. I don't know what that means. It's going to open them up to more exclusives and all that, but like.
But I guess
if you're a pop store, you're buying direct from Funko. There's no reason to go to Diamond.
Yeah. So there used to be I'm sure there still is, but there was that threshold to try and get your book into Diamond, because if it wasn't in Diamond, it wasn't in comic shops and that kind of stuff. Do you kind of feel like that's still going to be the case? Do you feel like Diamond may start pushing more for trying to work with other publishers, even potentially lowering the minimum amount that you have to get to. Like, it kind of feels like they're going to need product if they're going to stick around.
If you can show me a company that loses 85% of their business and is still in business, let me know. and I don't mean like 85% over like decades. I mean 85% over an 18-month period.
Yeah.
I just don't see how it's possible. They're losing so much of their business with Marvel and DC out of the picture. If Image goes even non-exclusive, not leaves, if Image just goes non-exclusive, Diamond's done. Period. Because there is no fourth place. Image becomes their biggest vendor by far, and I just don't see I don't see how they stick around without that. They're exclusive for now, but if Penguin Random House is good and they make the same deal, look, Marvel doesn't do this on a whim. DC doesn't do this on a whim. There's real reasons for them to get out there, and
honestly,
clearly Diamond is doing something that AT&T and Disney do not like. That's at the end of the day. If it was best for the companies to stay at Diamond, they would have stayed at Diamond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and honestly, I'm a little surprised that Image didn't go non-exclusive before all this stuff happened. I mean, just with the way things have been sort of going for Image, with the success of Walking Dead and Invincible, and bringing in more high-profile creators and that kind of stuff, I can't see them staying exclusive to Diamond, especially if anybody else is willing to kind of get those books into more places and that kind of stuff, because I also can't see Diamond really being able to make deals to expand beyond comic shops anymore.
No, they're trying to do toys. They're going to try to do other stuff. Coca-Cola is sponsoring Free Comic Book Day. That's a thing, I guess. Okay. Like, I don't know what that means, but like, okay, that's interesting. Cool. But like, and like I said before, I don't hate Diamond. I've never hated Diamond. I've generally had good interactions with them. We've had problems, but I've had problems with every distributor. It's going to come up. I just don't know what they do. I don't see how they survive this. I don't see where they go in 18 months. I just don't know what the next year or two looks like. And yeah, if you're a small press guy, you've got to be sweating it right now, because I mean, you're going to get all the love, but like, are they going to be around selling to enough stores? The small press people there's only a handful of people that are doing comics. Everything's like graphic novels and, going to bookstores, and it's just such a different market than it used to be. This isn't the 80s where there's 1,000 independent black and white publishers out there printed 100,000 copies of books there. There's hits, there's big companies out there, but Scout's not exclusive. We are getting our Scout books. So here you go. We moved our orders of Scout from Diamond to Lunar simply because Lunar has Scout on FOC, on Final Order Cutoff. On Comic Hub, it's called Last Call. They were not a FOC publisher at Diamond. And everything should be on FOC. I hate having to do monthly order. I want everything to be available weekly to order, because it just puts it in front of the eyes of so many more people. And it's, there's no reason to order to then just.
Well, with Last Call to order through the hub, I mean, the stores just increase sales at
that's
3 weeks
where we
out.
Get most of our orders.
Yeah, like they pop up. That's where they come. Especially, I mean, you get a fair amount of DCs, right?
There's a fair amount of everything.
Okay. But yeah, that's where most people are going, oh, okay, I want to get this. This is the last time I can order it. They're more apt to go, I'm going to order this.
Yeah.
The people that are getting the previews magazine and reading through the previews magazine, they're getting fewer and fewer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, Diamond has a lot of product in the previews, but I mean,
they have a lot of garbage in there too.
There's a lot of trash.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I also think maybe another big thing is I think a thing we're not thinking about that could be possibility is they still have a lot of manga that they distribute, which, you know.
Yeah, but they have Viz, but a lot of the other publishers, manga you can get from the book distributors. And again, it's the same thing. Anyone that goes to Penguin Random House gets Viz. Fuck, forget it.
Well, that's what I was gonna. That was,
and they're gonna push hard,
towards, right?
and they're gonna push hard to get. Penguin Random House isn't gonna stop with Marvel. They could go if they get Image. They could get. I don't know if they get DC. DC seems like they're probably gonna stick with Lunar, but if they could get other publishers, they wouldn't do this just for Marvel. There's no way. So, well, there you go.
So when? How long do we give Diamond?
How long?
Yeah, how long do we give them before they're like no longer the distributor? I mean, because they still distribute a fair amount. Maybe not DC and Marvel, but they still, But in October, they're not going to be distributing as much as.
See, honestly, I think Diamond's going to evolve into less of a distributor and more of a supplier kind of thing, just because they do have certain things that were kind of Diamond products. Like, they weren't all just redistribution stuff. So obviously things have changed a lot. Like, they used to have certain things that would go to GameStops and that kind of stuff exclusive, even though they were Diamond products and like that kind of stuff.
And they have their toys, right? They're Diamond Direct and everything like that. Yeah. Or Diamond Select, I mean. So.
And that's where I can kind of see, at least if I had to make a prediction, they will just become a supplier of that stuff. Because they're not going to be able to keep a hold over a lot of this other stuff, because there's no way they can offer enough to keep somebody exclusive to them anymore. They don't have the market share to do that.
Yeah, I don't know what they... Yeah, I have no clue. I mean, maybe they should become a small distributor again, like they used to be, and not the entire company or the entire industry like they had been for a while. I don't know. We'll find out more. We have more news stories to talk about. We'll talk about a few of these things.
News? What's the news?
We'll speculate more about. Diamond in the future. If you guys thought some of those sales of comics have been crazy, we're just starting, man. We're just starting.
Just starting.
For the first time, a Bronze Age comic has broke more records. $264,000 is a record for a Bronze Age comic. That's a comic from the 70s and early 80s. Mm-hmm. That is for a 9.8 copy of Marvel Spotlight #5, which is the first appearance of Ghost Rider, the modern Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze. So this is ridiculous that we're seeing so many books just get priced higher and higher. But this is a new record, beating out Incredible Hulk 181, beating out other Bronze Age key issues. It is a notoriously difficult book to find in good condition. So the fact that this got a 9.8 is pretty amazing, and we have a new record. So, man, forget it. Just start buying comics now, because they're going to be $100 next week, like for every single book. It's just crazy. I'm still waiting for that. Where's my Promise Collection? Where's my Promise Collection auction? When does that take place? It's very soon. Oh, no, 17th and 19th. Oh, wait, no, Promise already happened. Ah, shit.
Disappointment. Lie.
I did sign. It did already happen. Yeah, I totally thought it was happening like next week or something like that. Man, this month just jumped out ahead of me. Holy crap. Well, related, why don't we take a look? Oh, that's where this sold. It's this copy of Ghost Rider sold at that auction. It's not part of the Promise Collection, but it's sold as part of that same auction. That's amazing. I didn't even realize that was part of the same thing. Let's take a look at a few of those books we were talking about.
What are you on? Are you on Heritage.
As part, yeah. As part of that Promise collection, that Phantom Lady number 17, 9.6, highest grade ever for that, I believe, is $456,000. That's a good one. Captain America 36, which is a 9.4. Again, most of these are the highest grade ever, $204,000. Detective Comics 16. Oh, here, where were we? Oh, the Detective Comics 124. That's a 9.8. So that's one of the that's where the Joker cover is a 9.8 from 1947. CGC graded, of course. That's $120,000. So yeah. All these books, yeah, they all got a high 5 to 6 figures. Just crazy. Just fucking crazy. Silver Surfer, unrelated, of course, but still part of that same auction. Silver Surfer number 4, CGC 9.8, went for $90,000. That's the Silver Surfer Thor fight. It's not even like the first appearance of anyone, I don't think.
There's still items from that collection going.
It's so crazy what the stuff is going for. Yeah, I want to go through this now. Now that I know that that Promise stuff is up there, I want to look and see if they're going to have more. Yeah, I want to go look at those numbers, see what the rest of those numbers went for. Yeah, shit, I totally thought we had some time on that. What else we got? I was actually wondering how much longer his run was going to be. Nick Spencer is finishing up his run on Amazing Spider-Man in September, so we'll the end of his run. Now, he's part of something else.
How long was his run? I mean, time has flown by so quickly since he started.
74 issues. Yeah.
2016?
Yep. Good run. Yeah, quite a big run. Yeah, but he has some...
But I swear it feels like Slot's run just finished.
Yeah. He's going to be working with... he's going to be working... He left to go work with Substack. Do you know this company?
Not at all.
It's like a paid. I was looking at it. It's a newsletter. It's like a paid newsletter. He's going to be doing fiction, exclusive fiction for this. Like he got signed to be. I just read this Comic Book Resources article. Substack has hired comic book writer Nick Spencer as a newsletter company expands its platform beyond journalism into comic books and fiction. So he's going to be doing comics and fiction work for Substack, which is, again, it's like a digital... Yeah, it's just like a digital newsletter thing, but it's mostly for news, but now it's going into fiction. And I believe that's why he's leaving Amazing Spider-Man, because he's leaving Marvel entirely to go work exclusively with Substack. Very strange, but hopefully it works for him. I mean, I'm sure he get offered a fucking boatload of money. But yeah, big run for Nick Spencer, and I'm about halfway through his run. I'm maybe in like the 40s or 50s, so I'll burn through his run and try to get. I maybe not get caught up right before he finishes, but I'm sure we'll get through a chunk of it. We got some movie and TV news here. We are going to end talking about the first two episodes of Loki. So if you're not don't want to hear spoilers about that, of course, skip the end of the podcast here. But we got a few news stories till we get there. So I don't normally do leak spoilers, any of that stuff. I don't want to set photos I don't care about. Blah 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 blah. However, they did release. Well, they officially released a shot, and then we got more shots later of Supergirl from the Flash movie, and there'd been I forget her name, Sasha Calle, Calle. So she's going to be the new Supergirl, first live action Supergirl in movies, and obviously many years since the 80s. Movies. But they showed her in costume, and I don't exactly know what their plan here is. I I mean, I believe they're calling her Supergirl. I don't know if they've confirmed that she is Kara Zor-El. However, her costume and her haircut and facial features and everything looks exactly like the Laura Lane Kent from the Injustice comic from Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo. So they had Tom Taylor posted some pictures, and he's like, "Huh, okay, well, I don't know if this is her or they just based off her look, but she looks exactly like the Supergirl from Injustice, which is the comic based on the video game.
Let's go see how much that Supergirl Injustice first appearance is.
It's probably huge now, yeah. So it's the daughter of Superman and Lois Lane, right? I mean, if they're going to say this is an alternate reality, Kara Zor-El, okay, cool. I mean, the costume doesn't look like Kara's costume. She doesn't look like Kara. It's not an insult to her. She looks fine. It's just Kara's white and blonde, and she is Latino and short black hair. She looks exactly like the Supergirl from Injustice. So it would be odd, I think, if she's supposed to be Kara, because she clearly isn't. So I don't know if this is confirmation. I don't know that we're getting any sort of official word here yet, but the fact that the Flash movie is a multiverse thing, it would make sense if they're bringing in Injustice or some variation thereof, and that's the Supergirl that's going to be in that, which would be great. There's no reason to make Kara Zor-El a totally different character in the quote-unquote official DC universe, especially when you have this multiverse thing. This looks like Supergirl from Injustice. So, but hopefully that's what it is.
Is it Sur-El?
No. I actually thought that. So I never actually read all of Injustice. I never saw the Supergirl from that. It wasn't until Tom Taylor made the post where I was like, oh yeah, that's totally who it is. It looks a little bit like Sur-El, that she was the like CIR-EL. Yes. She was the very brief, random, not Supergirl character from the early 2000s. That's who I thought was like, maybe it's supposed to be her. But no, it is 100% clearly Supergirl from Injustice. I mean, it's not even a question. It looks like 100% like her. The costume is very much the same. The hairstyle is exactly the same. So it's not even a question. So we'll find out if that's supposed to be her. I guess we'll find out. Toby did put something about Superman wrap up. Is it not over yet? Right? Is the final episode there yet? I don't think it had, or it's aired tonight.
I've not confirmed, but the last episode I watched felt very much like a season finale. Like, very much so.
I thought we still had one more episode. Let's see. It says they are. The finale is on August 18th. I'm not sure why Toby said something. Oh, but Tom Cavanaugh's directing it. I'm not sure why Toby put this in the notes. Yeah, I'm still a couple episodes back, but I didn't think it was over. I thought we still had quite a while. So, they are filming the finale. Maybe that's what he meant.
I'm not surprised by Toby's reaction, because I had the same reaction where the episode literally feels like it could be the finale of the season. And a lot of other shows have been having their finales in like the past few weeks.
Yeah. Well, not only that,
Toby is here.
You ordered a Blu-ray now, so I thought that was it.
Yeah, no, it says it's in August. 15 episodes. That's what it says.
So there's one episode in August?
Was this the 14th episode?
Oh, well, I thought it was done, plus you could buy the Blu-ray, or you could order it, so I thought that was it.
When's the Blu-ray come out?
You could order it already. I'm doing work stuff at the moment, but yeah, you could. I saw it in the pre-orders, so
Oh,
I
yeah,
thought
it's here,
this
yeah.
was it.
Oh, it's here, yeah. No release date, though. No release date, so...
So I guess this was episode 11.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
was-
So August. So
Yeah.
maybe 12, 13, take a week off, 14, 15. Yeah, maybe they'll take a few weeks break again. Yeah. Still got a little bit of time. But I will tell you something else. According to James Gunn, he has the director, of course, of both Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and the upcoming Suicide Squad. He has casually talked to the powers that be at both Marvel and DC about a movie crossover. I'm going to quote here. He says, this is from his Twitter account. He said, I would love for it to happen. I don't think it's likely, but I don't think it's an impossibility either.
I just picture him talking to some people and them just nodding along with him.
That said, just constantly seeing crossovers and mashups is less enchanting to me than a strong story. And I agree. However, they have to realize how absolutely massive a Marvel DC crossover movie would be. I don't want it. I don't need it today, but especially if you want to have some characters go out, not saying they kill them, but like kind of, okay, here comes Chris Evans for his final movie. Here comes Robert Downey Jr. for his final movie. Here comes, I roll Affleck out for one more. I mean, if you want to do an MCU and DC crossover with some people that are like, trying, kind of getting out, there's no way that would not be the biggest movie of all time.
I would just be pissed off if they're willing to do that and don't get a omnibus or good collections of the crossover books out again.
Yeah, I think I would have guessed it was highly unlikely, but
I still guess it's highly unlikely.
Yeah, but it is interesting to see that directors are actively talking to them. So James Gunn, man, I would not be against that. I think that's it. I think we're going to talk about some Loki now. So if you guys want to, sorry. Before we get to that, I believe I actually had two questions. Let me see. I had one of these here. Let me see if I can grab it. Yeah. Where was it? This is from Joey. He had a very important question. If Toby and Charlie were on the podcast, and since you're both here, he had a very important question. He said he is working on becoming an Omnibro. Of course, the collectors of the wonderful, giant, oversized hardcover omnibuses from comic books.
Yes, and we all have to say bro over and over and over.
Omnibro. He said, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the best ways to become an Omnibro. What are your omnibus tips, tricks, best purchasing methods? When to know when to just pull that trigger and pay the retail price or big bucks for it? When to just hang back and wait for that reprint, wait for that used copy to roll in?
So it is.
How do you triple support your shelves to hold them? All the deets.
It is incredibly hard to answer a good portion of that just because of the way the market has been in the past year. Like, none of what I would say used to hold true necessarily holds true, even though it has been getting better. I mean, the shelves, you need to move away from cheap shelving you can buy from Amazon or Target or Walmart. And actually, if you're going to do those, you need to do some sort of reinforcing of them to handle the weight because they won't last long term. But I mean, everything else in terms of like when to pull the trigger and that kind of stuff, a lot of it depends on is this book personally something that you're excited for and would have issue missing out on, or if it's something that you would buy but only at a lower price point. And that's something I have kind of been going through a little bit over a while, just since I've reached a point where I don't really have space for the books that I'm buying, but I keep buying books anyways.
Oh, I hear that.
Yeah. But that being said, like, there's always going to be some good bargains, especially if you go to some of the larger conventions. There's definitely some retailers and stuff at those conventions that will actively buy out clearances and that kind of stuff. So they will have some amazing deals on omnibuses and hardcovers and everything else. So I've gotten a number of things that way over the years, but in terms of when to pull the trigger and that kind of stuff, a lot of it really depends on actively monitoring some of the groups and that kind of stuff, because I guarantee you, before it goes out of print, somebody will start talking about, like, this book seems to be going out of print, and will let you know the few retailers that still have it. I like the hub in some cases for trying to track certain things down, just because, yes, I love Toby's grown there, but
I have to give Charlie credit, though. When I am on the hunt, Charlie actually will find me some stuff off the hub, which I do appreciate. So there is some credit there.
And
I will
because
never read it again.
As great as the hub is for Comics Conspiracy and being able to browse its inventory, it does have a central site where you can browse all the stores on the hub's inventory to see where still has something.
It's how I bought some stuff from our friend Travis in Santa Cruz, or Monterey, where we store is, yeah.
Yeah, I got one of the Star Wars Epic collections that was damaged. I got a replacement from a store using the hub.
Yeah.
I got the Justice League Bronze Age Omnibus 2 from a hub shop.
Yeah. As I said, being able to have a central location to search a ton of comic shops is very helpful to both the comic shops and to collectors. Now, mind you, it doesn't mean you're not going to pay a premium. There are some shops on there that know what they have and have priced it accordingly. So you're not necessarily going to re-experience the same sort of thrill of walking into the shop somewhere and finding the book that's been out of print forever. Like, I kind of feel like that's one thing the hub is, I don't want to say completely taken away, because obviously nothing will ever completely take that away.
Well, but you're gonna find stuff for retail that's on Amazon for $500. If you're willing to pay retail, you'll find it.
Well, but I've found some out of print omnibuses on there for above retail.
Yeah,
at some places. Like, there are definitely the shops that specialize more in this is the going rate for this book.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then there's shops that specialize in, I've been sitting on this book for 6 years and somebody's willing to buy it. So, but no, it's definitely at least a bit of a game changer being able to just countrywide, and of course anybody on the hub has a online store you can purchase from. So, yeah.
Was the original question of when he should pull the trigger, or just overall tips in collecting omnibus?
Oh, yeah, I was just saying, yeah. Is there a point where you're like, that's it, I'm just going to pull the trigger? Or, how do you balance that between, because omnibuses are not like an old comic, right? Omnibuses get reprinted sometimes. Sometimes they're reprinted because there are mistakes made and they have to change them.
That kills me.
So I got a few rules, but Charlie, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, the reprinting because of mistakes kills me.
Oh, that I hate. That I hate, because I feel like, look, I am not for them, having X amount of books out there, that are basically useless and it just goes on the minefield. I don't really like that. But on the other hand, it should never gotten to that point, right? So,
yeah.
And I also don't like it if I bought a book that's $100 or $150 and they acknowledge the mistake and they just re-release it and I have to pay it again. That really pisses me off, but that's a different topic. No, I have a few rules in the collecting of the epics and the omnibuses. One, I say don't pay over retail unless you really, really want it. I don't think I've ever... Maybe the Moon Knight, I think I slightly paid like maybe $5 over retail, and that's okay. But I think overall, my limit is like, look, I'll pay retail for it. When it goes like, I don't know, $20 over, $50 over, like, you know, it's 200% of its original retail price. At that point, I'll just wait for a reprint, basically, or I'll try and find it at a con, or I'll try and find it at another store. I just look. I don't like people that are ripping people off, and you know, there's reprints coming all the time. Just have patience. The other thing, the other lesson is a lesson I'm trying to learn myself, and I'm trying to tell myself all the time. And a lot of times I talk to Charlie and Ryan here. It's more about curating your collection than collecting your collection. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I think we talked about it before, because before you know it, you're gonna run out of space. I have stacks on my table right here. I got stacks below my table. My bookshelves are full. I have another stack next to the bookshelf. Like, yeah, there comes a point where, like, look, your favorites are your favorites. You know, those you probably should have. Maybe some classic ones that, you know, you probably should just be part of your collection. And I even say some of those classics, unless they're your own favorites, maybe they don't belong into that collection either. But there comes a point where, like, there's just too much, right? You can't own everything. And it's a lesson I'm still trying to learn. I'll be honest. I mean, I'm still buying books. There's orders I do, and I run it by Charlie going, hey, man, talk me out of this, because I shouldn't be doing this. I'm like, you know, I'm already out of space at home as is.
Yeah, honestly, one of the things I try not to fall into the hole of nowadays, because there's always going to be the next bargain. Like, just realistically, there's always going to be the next bargain. Yeah. And buying something just because it's a bargain is not necessarily a good way to collect.
Yeah, and I fall into that trap too, right? But if it's something that you actually want, then awesome, right?
Yeah.
It's the don't force yourself, or don't look. I do actually have a lot of blind buys that I really truly enjoyed after the fact, but I also have blind buys that I didn't like. So on the bargains, I almost say, like, some of the blind buys, if you get it and if you don't enjoy it, probably let go of it right away, because otherwise I'll just stick around. So
and that's sort of the key too. If you're going to buy something like that, make sure you're prepared to read it and not just throw it on the shelf.
Which is one of my faults, right? That's one of my faults too. So I try to stay away from blind buys, on especially the expensive books. I'm just trying to get the ones I really want for the collection. But again, I'm still learning that lesson myself every day. So I'm not good at it, I'll tell you that much. So, yeah. But it's fun. I think my only blind buy is the Sandman books, which, you know, I am preparing to read and then explain to Ryan what it's going.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, it's going to be so bad.
Can't wait.
Oh, I think everybody's going to hate me at that point. You know those bad reviews you're getting for Endgame in regards to me? Boy, when I explain Sandman, they're going to have death threats, and they're going to put me to the wolves.
I'm pretty sure it's going to go viral in some form.
Oh,
even if it's because of the hatred, it's going to go viral in some form.
Did Ryan tell you guys? I was texting him. I go on these midnight walks, and I was trying again to listen to the audiobook. And I think I was updating him live of what I think is going on. And I would explain these characters, and Ryan be like, oh, yeah, that's blah, blah, and blah, blah. And yeah, that's blah, 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 blah. I'm like, but it doesn't make any sense. Honestly, I didn't really like it until Constantine showed up, and finally there was some sense in the universe, story-wise at least. Yeah.
Well, you were explaining it to me, and I'm like, no, you've got it. Yeah, everything you're saying is accurate. Like you're not wrong. And you're like, but none of this makes sense. I'm like, yeah, no, just keep going. Just keep going.
But it's also, how many times have you read Sandman, Ryan?
Couple.
Yeah.
I want to reread it again before the Netflix show comes out. I really, really want to. It's been years. So,
yeah, I think I finished my reread a few years ago.
A year or two ago. Yeah.
Well, what I didn't like was it was so creepy and scary. Like, fucking cat would run from the bush and it would scare me. Little fucking trees would scare me while I'm walking. And, you know, I'm walking in the middle of the night. I'm like, this is not cool.
Did you even get to the diner?
No. He only read like the first issue, or he's listening to like the first audio.
Yeah,
he only listened to like the first episode. Oh, you listened to the second one?
That's like 2 hours in. Why is it on the first issue at 2 hours in?
Yeah, it's a long ass. It's a long ass.
I got to where these two jackasses live in this house, and one is always killing the other one, but they get reborn.
Cain and Abel.
Still, it's the second issue.
Yeah, and this dog like delivers like Morpheus in his mouth to them, and then there he goes. I want my shit back because without my shit, I don't have any powers, and I'm weak. I gotta have my shit, and those two creepy guys are like no help. And then eventually, somehow he talks to like John Constantine. John Constantine is like, "Yeah, I got your shit, but it's in this other creepy house." So that they go to this other, like they just keep going to creepy houses. Like, what the actual fuck, man? Like they're going from one creepy house to another creepy house.
Maybe that's what Sandman truly is about: the journey between creepy houses. Because you have the Burgess house, right? You have the doll's house.
Yeah, they don't like any of that shit. Well, at least
Neil Gaiman put something on Twitter because someone asked him, they're like, are you guys doing the diner? Because I can't watch that. If that is an episode, they're like, it's just too brutal. I can't watch it.
Are you really truly a horror guy and we just don't know it?
He's like, oh yeah, do not watch episode 5. Episode 5 is the diner.
Yes!
And I'm like, fuck yes. It's
I don't get this fuck yes thing. Like, what's fun about this?
The diner is rough. It is. You're gonna have a hard time with that episode. If you're this bad, it's nothing. Nothing has happened compared to what happens. The diner, the audiobook version was
really good.
That was pretty tough.
Well, even reading that issue and because I think what it is because it's shown kind of just as the panel is kind of a flash of what's going on. It's not like it's there and you're like, oh God, but the audiobook just brings it out even more.
I think the comic is the most tame version because I think the audiobook makes it, and if they actually do it accurately in live action, it's going to be a difficult episode for some people to watch because it is. It is. It will be intense.
The diner is all of humanity's horrible, horrible things wrapped into one issue.
Yeah.
I feel like there's just a lot of fucking whining going on, and like nothing is truly happening. Like it's like I've been trapped for 3,200 years.
See, and this is the thing. This pays off so well in issue 8. It's 8, right? The Sound of a Rings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like all of that pays off with issue 8.
Yeah, I mean, he goes on this journey to get his shit back to restore his world, and
he's powerless. He doesn't seem like very powerful without his shit.
He's not powerless, but his stuff focuses and enhances powers. He doesn't need it, but he.
So
he's weak sauce without his security blanket.
Again, no.
Kind of. Yes, in a sense, yes. But again, the payoff is in issue 8.
Also, I didn't like that he has like freaking 15,000 names. Like, it took me a while to figure out they're talking about the same guy. Like, I don't know, like, Dreaming Guy is the same as Morpheus, as Sandman, as whatever else fucking names they gave him.
Well, this is the did you get to Martian Manhunter yet?
No. Well, okay. I saw the Justice League in the first issue about 30 years ago when I was trying to read that shit.
Yeah. Because a big part of that's the whole Martian Manhunter part. It kind of gets more into. That's one of the first times I think you really see like his different, just how different this character can be, and this is why a lot of people are kind of rolling their eyes at people complaining about Death being the actress for Death being black because everyone is. The Endless do not look like anything.
The Endless are concepts. That's the thing and the concept is different in America, in India, in
every race, every being, every person perceives them differently. So
they have many names, they have many different characteristics, but they are still just a concept.
Yeah. they're above gods, right? They're
like Overture really goes deep
So,
into that.
like, are these beings just beliefs? Like, in American gods, it seems like they come into existence because people believe in them, right? They have, like, the modern gods. At least that's how I understand it, that's how they come into existence. Like, are these Sandman and the Dreaming and the Dreaming is Sandman, right?
yeah, that's sort of where he lives.
That's his
Yeah,
plan.
Is that the place?
No, the endless are like the kind of the building blocks of like consciousness and life in the universe. They're, like Lucifer and, Odin, they rule specific realms. They rule over their little bits, but every living being dreams. Every living being dies, right? Every living being has desire. They're fundamental. They're like the embodiments of like these fundamental forces above the physical manifestation of even the gods. There's I don't remember what issue it's in. It's in one of the early issues. They say death will be the last thing in existence before she turns the light switch off in this universe. This.
Am I gonna have to see a shrink after this? Reading this,
when the last thing dies, death is no longer needed. Right? When the last thing dies, nothing can dream, nothing can have desire, nothing can have despair because nothing.
There is no
anymore.
destiny.
Yeah, nothing exists anymore. So they are the final pieces, and they will disappear when the last living being is dead. So
what I'm hearing is I got to do a lot of drugs to get through this book.
when I always explain Sandman to people, it's part horror, it's part fantasy. The books really do go back and forth. You'll get to the cat issue and fucking love it.
Yeah.
You'll love that issue, I think.
What issue? Cat?
The cat issue. Yeah, like there's a lot of like little one-off stories. You'll get to some issues and you're like, oh.
Well, I really do appreciate John showing up in whatever part he is because that's the only thing so far where it slightly made sense.
Yeah, because you know the character. Yeah. And there are
everything else is really creepy and whiny.
Existing DC characters make appearances through the books, but they tend to be, with the exception of stuff.
Darkseid's in it.
In the later stuff, yeah. They tend to be a little bit glossed over, or it's like if you know who these characters are, then cool. But if you don't know who,
the old Sandman, right? The one with the wife.
Sure, but no, I'm thinking of Daniel's parents.
Yeah, that's what I just talked about.
Like, the funny thing is, I'm like, these whiny bitches, right? And Ryan goes, oh, that's Abel and freaking
Cain and
Abel.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, well, you sound so excited about it. I'm not excited about them at all. Because
and again, the thing about Sandman is a lot of these characters existed prior to Sandman. So the Destiny was a character. I don't think you've seen Destiny yet. I don't think he's been in the audiobook yet. Cain and Abel came from a House of Mystery and House of Secrets. Obviously, John Constantine and Martian Manhunter and other characters are there. Even Sandman comes from the.
Excited about some dude in jail, like in Arkham.
Yeah. So Dr. Destiny, he's a Justice League villain. Wesley Dodds is the original Golden Age Sandman, right? That existed for years. That's not.
No, but I'm talking. No, I was talking about Hector Hall and
Hector.
His wife.
Hector Hall
that was what I was talking about.
Yeah, Hector Hall is just totally blanking. He is Silver Scarab, and from Infinity Inc. That's Hector Hall, and Lyda is Wonder Woman's daughter from Earth 2. Yes.
Well, he was the son of Carter Hall and Shira Hall from the Golden Age.
But he's Silver Scarab. He's from Infinity Inc.
Yeah, but he was calling himself in the Dreaming. He was calling himself the Sandman.
You're confusing that with the Sandman. There is the Silver Age Sandman is in the book with Gloop and
No,
Brute
that
and
is
Glob.
that's Hector. Hector's there with Brute and Glob, right?
Is that what he's trapped and he thinks he's Sandman?
Yes,
Because he's Silver Scarab. I mean, Hector Hall is Silver Scarab, and Lyda is Earth 2 Wonder Woman's daughter.
Yeah, because the pregnancy is halted because they're in this.
I mean, I don't.
Other
I
reality,
don't.
right? Like,
Is that what it is? He
because
thinks
they're protecting that kid.
he thinks he's the Silver Age Sandman. Is that what happened? It's been so long. Like, I got to go back and reread that stuff. But yeah, So yeah, the existing DC characters are in this, but you kind of don't have to know that.
Well, I'm gonna get lynched by our listeners when we do this.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm gonna be very angry at the book. I have a feeling. Angry like just 10 minutes into the audiobook, and then I keep listening for 2 hours and nothing damn happens except for whining, and I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? And then I'll get an Ankh tattoo around my nipple. So
I can't wait. I can't wait. All right. Speaking
I'm surprised Ryan doesn't have like a Sandman tattoo.
Ryan doesn't get no tattoos.
No, not tattoos. And now something that I'm sure we're all going to agree on, and there will be no problems with it all, and everyone will have amazing opinions, and we'll breeze right through this. We are going to finally talk about Loki episodes 1 and 2 on Disney Plus. So consider this your spoiler warning. You've been warned, because we're going to talk full spoilers for the first 2 episodes.
Hey, before we go to earlier mentioned Supergirl, was there some problem with her, or was there's some negativity, or?
I mean, well, some people don't like the costume. Some people don't like her because she's not blonde hair.
Yeah, blonde hair,
blue-eyed.
Yeah,
but it seems like the entire Flash universe had alternate versions of characters.
Right. When they said Supergirl was going to be in this, I'm like, cool, okay, what's Supergirl, right? And then they cast the actress, and I'm like, okay, well, we'll see what they do with her. Yeah. When they showed her costume, I'm like, it is 100% clearly the Supergirl from Injustice. It's not even a question. I don't know if they're going to say it is. I don't know if they're going to say it's Kara Zor-El, it's Superman's cousin, this is the in continuity main universe Supergirl, but I would assume, based off what Flash is that it's all alternate reality stuff, right? Yeah. So parallel dimensions, different. Because
we're getting 89 Batman in it, so
yeah,
or at least old 89 Bruce.
Yeah. So I mean, the normal people are mad. I don't.
The normal people are mad. There's nothing normal about those people.
I mean, the people that are normally the people that are regularly mad are mad about this.
I was going to say the normal people wouldn't know the difference.
I mean, the people that are always mad about everything is the normal people.
It's not how I want it, so it's horrible.
Yeah. Like I would prefer blonde hair, blue eye, Kara Zor-El in a Supergirl skirt, normal Supergirl. If we don't get that, okay, that's fine. TV. Yeah, I'm like, if we don't get that, okay, we'll see what happens. That's cool. I generally prefer these characters to look like the characters, but whatever. They just had all the costumes for Shazam. I didn't put this in the show notes. They're fine. I think I like the costumes a little bit better in the first movie. But Mary Marvel looks like Mary Marvel for the most part. I liked her skirt better in the first one, but whatever. What are you going to do? But they're all fine. All right. If the movie's good, the movie's good.
So I was talking to Charlie. Was she actually Mary Marvel in the first movie? Like as Mary Marvel?
No, I think it was a different actress played Mary in the movie.
It was
right?
two different actresses.
The superhero character of Mary Marvel was in the movie.
Yes. Oh yeah, she was. Yeah. Both Mary, his quote unquote sister, and then the Mary Marvel, the superhero, or Mary Shazam, whatever they're going to call her.
So there was 2 actresses playing her, right?
I believe in the first one,
and then the actual superhero one. Now it's the kid one, just herself, or something.
She's right, correct.
Okay, I somehow don't remember that, so I think it might be a rewatch time for Shazam because I didn't know she was in the movie.
Funny enough, I actually think I wonder if something happened because I remember talking about this when it came out. She's actually the one that doesn't kind of get her big fight scene at the end. Mary's kind of glossed over in the
but
big
she's
fight.
there.
She's there. Yeah.
Yeah, I somehow just really don't remember. I mean, I remember the little black girl, right? I remember the Asian guy, and there was like this bearded dude. Yeah, I don't remember her.
Yeah, she's there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Time for a rewatch. I haven't opened my Blu-ray yet, so it's maybe time to open it up and have another rewatch. It'll be my second viewing on that one.
Nice. Yeah, it's fantastic. But yeah, I think we'll see what they do with Supergirl. It could be a cool mashup of all sorts of weird characters from all over the place. That'd be neat. I got no problem with that. And if this is the Supergirl, people are like poking fun of the costume. Oh, it's stupid. Oh, the rib cages are weird. She looks like Spider-Man. Where's her cape? It's like, dude, fucking people. These are shots from the set. Like they're
gonna digitally do the cape now. Like they
digitally enhance all this stuff. Like what the hell are you talking about? Or her rib cage looks weird. Well, fucking who cares? Like that's not what it's gonna look like on the screen, you idiots.
They got to take the cables out, and there's going to be a bulge at the cable that they have to then CG down.
People. I mean, maybe some people actually are this stupid, but I assume most people are just being idiots, just trolling because they're mad that she's not a blonde hair, blue eye Supergirl. But yeah, you can prefer one version over the other. But I'm not going to judge it until I see the movie. Yeah. There are times where I'm like, well, that's not really the thing. That kind of looks goofy, but okay. If it's good, it's good. If it sucks, well, what are you going to do? But Loki, we got 2 episodes of Loki in. And actually, Loki. Third episode's on like an hour and a half. I
was going to say, if we keep recording long enough.
If you're one of those people that stay up late.
I've done it twice.
Now, Toby, was it you that messaged me and said you thought the first episode was super boring?
Yeah, man, nothing happened.
I could just have Tom Hiddleston just like talk for like 45 minutes and really do nothing and just kind of
and then sign another paper,
goof around and just sort of.
That's good enough for you. I mean, you obviously
bob his head
you obviously like people whining for hours and hours and hours and so. Doesn't surprise me, man.
I like the first 2 episodes quite a bit. They're very charming. It's very funny.
Well, I like Tom. Don't get me wrong. I think he's an excellent Loki, and but I was just like, nothing's happening. I'm bored. I was really bored all the way to like not finishing the second episode, and Kevin, is he on? Kevin is not on. Kevin was like, oh no, I really like the end. Or what did he say, Charlie? He said something about the end of the second episode, and
he said basically he really wants to see where it goes after the end of the second episode.
And I'm in the same boat now. I almost feel like we got in the first 2 episodes at the same time because I'd be a lot more excited.
Well, I'm very happy because we'll kind of hit both episodes. I'm happy that they didn't dick around with the Lady Loki stuff, that they show her very quickly in the second episode. Because I feel like had that kind of dragged out to the very end. I feel like that may have been a bit of a,
it would have been way too much because, I mean, after the first episode, I was like, yeah, that's female Loki.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much assume. I assume there is no Trinity of Lizard time people. I forget what they're called.
The Timekeepers?
The Timekeepers. Yeah, there's no Timekeepers, right? It's just that lady. That lady runs everything. She's like, oh, the great and powerful Oz behind the curtain. Don't piss off the Timekeepers. They don't exist. No, it's just this lady. She's the bad guy. She's the bad guy of the show, right? I mean,
what?
Right?
Huh?
Yeah. The black lady that runs the. There's no Timekeepers.
But she's fixing the timeline.
Huh?
But she's fixing the timeline.
Yeah, but she's the bad guy of the show, right? I mean, she's the.
Don't think so. I do agree with you. There's not the quote unquote mythical timekeepers, but I think in the end they're going to have a quote unquote reveal of not just some random person in there is the one behind all this, but hell, I could even, if they weren't already planning to do something with Kang, I could even see it being Kang. But
I just assume she's the only other character in the show. She's clearly, like, making up this shit. I mean, maybe there was these timekeepers at one point, but she runs the entire place now. I forget her name. I don't remember her name.
All right, Brock. All right, Brock.
What?
Next is Mephisto.
No, she's not anything. She's just the bad guy of the show.
Funny for all the Brock Furies we got in the other shows.
that's okay. There were people spreading, like, it's Mephisto because of, like, the image with the horns.
Yeah, so stupid, so stupid. Yeah, I don't know. I just assume, she's the, she's the only other character we've seen in 2 episodes that Disney loves their swerve. So she's the there's nothing I can do person that's in the background. Oh, actual villain revealed.
Nope, it's going to be the cartoon clock.
Which is voiced by Tara Strong, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So,
in fact, that's going to be my prediction. It is totally going to be the cartoon clock.
Well, I wonder how. I assume this show will somehow will break the multiverse by the end, which will cause Doctor Strange and Spider-Man to happen, right? Is that because according to this, there is no multiverse? Leanne's giving me a weird look. Oh my fucking god! Oh my god!
Oh,
Newsarama. So in the second episode, there's a scene where Owen Wilson, I think it's Owen Wilson, he has that pen. He's like looking at that pen.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember? They focus on this pen for a second. Newsarama posted some article about, what the real meaning of the pen is. Who the secret villain is revealed by that pen.
Fuck.
So I click on it. 20 paragraphs and 7 advertisements into this article. It says the pen is a reference to the Molecule Man, classic Fantastic Four villain, Marvel villain. 32 paragraphs into it, I believe. 32 paragraphs into it. It contradicts the entire article and basically says, we really don't know who. It really doesn't reference anything necessarily. The Molecule Man, the real person, apparently grew up in Brooklyn, and the pen is a pen from a high school in Brooklyn. So 20 paragraphs in, they surmise that the Molecule Man is being referenced by that pen. And then they spend 12 paragraphs explaining the background, the history, and the origin of the Molecule Man, to only then say the Molecule Man grew up in Brooklyn. And at no point in any comic did they ever say that he went to this high school, so maybe it's totally unrelated.
Fucking idiots.
I love the fact that you just went through all this where they should have just been like, ha, you fell for clickbait.
Now, hold on.
Generally very good at this type of stuff.
Hold on.
And I was like, it's Newsarama. They are better than this.
Hold on. You ready? What if Steve Rogers, a.k.a. Captain America, in his time jumping around, picked up the pen and then dropped it there?
He might have. We'll find out soon.
Because he's a kid from Brooklyn.
I just assume that lady is fucking up time on purpose, preventing the multiverse from existing because the multiverse always exists, and
so that's who female Loki is working for.
No, I think that's who female is working against. Female Loki's a good guy.
You think female Loki's a good guy?
Yeah, it's a Disney thing. That's the twist. The twist is female Loki's a good guy. She's fighting against this lady because this lady's preventing the multiverse from existing.
You watch too much Disney.
So it's the same. Every single Disney thing is the same. The good guy's the bad guy. The bad guy's the good guy. Every single movie. They do it in everything. You can't even. It's like
the bad guy's the good guy.
What's that?
The bad guy's the good guy in Disney movies
every time.
So Garcon
modern.
is the good guy?
Who is?
Garcon?
Modern. Garcon? Modern.
Garcon, sorry.
Gaston. I'm assuming.
Sorry.
No, modern. Like
what's modern Disney?
The last
action.
The last like 10 years. So Wreck-It Ralph, with what's his face, Captain Candy. What's his name? King Candy, right? King Candy. Zootopia, Frozen, Frozen 2. They don't do it. Wreck-It Ralph does. I don't remember if Wreck-It Ralph 2 does it.
I'm still waiting for the Marvel movie where it does it.
It's Disney. Every Marvel movie does it too. Big Hero 6 did it. They did it in the good guy's the bad guy. Oh, but maybe the bad guy's not the bad guy in WandaVision with
Mysterio in Spider-Man.
Mysterio in Spider-Man. Right, exactly. Every time. I mean, this is just every single Disney movie does this. So natural assumption.
When is Thanos going to be a good guy?
My natural assumption is that. Well, Ant-Man 2, they do it, right?
What? In Ant-Man 2?
And yeah. This is an extremely common thing in almost every modern Disney movie, that the good guy's the bad guy and the bad guy's a good guy. So I just assume Lady Loki's the good guy and she's the bad guy. There you go. We'll see what happens. That's my opinion. That's my theory.
This is where we find out that she's just another version of Loki, and therefore Loki is both the good guy and the bad guy and the neutral guy.
Yeah. Could be.
In fact, every agent at the Time Agency is Loki. Just different versions of Loki.
And the Loki that doesn't know about fish.
Although anyway,
I did like
my theory aside. What do you guys think?
I loved the show. I liked the whole time bureau or time whatever agency. Like the world they live in is so very Jack Kirby, like just big and epic and crazy. Huge statues to the time keepers and stuff. I liked it. I think the Loki's character is going through a fair amount, and it's really great to see, more of his character. We're able to see more of his character develop than kind of what we've seen in the movies prior. Like we've seen him develop in the movies, but not as much as we have in at least these 2 episodes. So, and it's just a fun character.
Yeah, he's amazing. Second episode better for you, Toby?
Yeah, sure. The show looks pretty, and Tom is good. So we'll see. I mean, I liked it. Look, I got excited at the end because I think that's where the curveball is happening now. Like he's not. I feel like with the trailer, you kind of figure out, oh, this is what he's going to do. He's going to hunt himself. And now that he jumped into the portal, I'm like, okay, now it could be interesting.
Just with Lady Loki and everything?
Well, no, because now he's being Loki, like being Loki again. Like, yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see after tonight. Well, I'm probably not going to watch it tonight, but yeah. I have to say, so far, I don't know, probably my least interested Disney Plus show, and that goes after the Mighty Ducks. So, I won't judge a show till it's over. It might have an enormous cool end, and I'm not disliking it. I was just like, come on now, something happen, please.
Oh, yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I mean, I think after 2, I like it significantly better than Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it's different than WandaVision, but I definitely enjoy it. It's very, very funny.
I like that it takes the Infinity Stones and makes them nothing.
Oh, that was one of the funniest scenes in the whole thing. That cracked me up so much. There's just a box of them, just a drawer.
Oh, we use them as paperweight.
It makes complete sense based on the explanation of the divergent timeline. Like that fit perfectly.
Mm-hmm. I do like that they're spending a whole show on divergent timelines, especially after our awesome argument that we had. That is the Endgame episode.
Yeah, I wonder how much more of that they're going to do. I have to assume based off just the taglines of Multiverse and Spider-Man, you know, the rumors of Spider-Man, what they're doing with it, that yeah, this will somehow tie in with those in some fashion.
Well, I mean,
it's all involving the multiverse or the lack thereof.
It already kind of has with it's already like with the kind of just all of these branches that are now exploding off of the timeline because of what Lady Loki did in the end of the second episode. So it could be that this stuff doesn't get remedied in this season, but we see the aftermath or what's going on during like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man.
Yeah, but specifically the multiverse bit is what I'm focusing on here because it's pretty clear that this movie's talking about how there is no multiverse and they're trying to prevent the multiverse. And if Doctor Strange's movie is the multiverse of madness, I have a pretty good idea how this show's going to end. Which also it's very smart for Marvel and Disney long term if they're like, yeah, multiverse is fully here because then we can mix people up, we can bring new people in. Can change people as much as we want. I don't think they'll do it in the show. I think if they're ever going to do something, they'll do it in the movie. But at least they can start prepping that multiverse knowledge for the uninitiated. So,
but you know, most people started watching DC movies too, so they know what multiverse is.
Yeah. Flash will take advantage of that as well. Any last minute thoughts before we wrap up?
No, I figured you guys would talk about it a lot more than I did. Like, what do you guys like about the show?
I said I think he's really funny. There's, you know, we're just started. You know, I think WandaVision set an interesting tone because there's so much to theorize and mystery to kind of solve in the first handful of episodes. I don't feel like this really has that. I mean, I guess you guessed. So like
all you have to say he was really funny.
Yeah, I think he's great. Yeah,
Well,
I was very excited for this, and it's good. I mean, it's a fairly straightforward show for the most part. I don't...
Yeah, but it's also a story that deserves a miniseries like this. This would be a lot harder to do properly in like a movie format or something.
No,
like,
yeah, no.
like this,
I would not want.
This feels similar to like the Falcon Winter Soldier. Sort of felt like it could have been done in realistically a movie.
Yeah.
WandaVision and this feel very suited to doing it on television, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I really like the setup. I really like the idea of this agency preventing the multiverse, which can lead directly into the creation of the multiverse. But
yeah,
no, I'm hoping you're wrong. Like I'm honestly much more on board with some cosmic entity that's the Miss Minutes cartoon character deciding that there must be order in the universe and therefore there cannot be a multiverse than some random person. Like it needs to be.
If the cartoon clock's the villain of the show, that's the greatest thing of all time.
Yeah.
Like sign me up. That'd be amazing.
But you somehow hate Baby Groot. I don't understand you, Ryan Higgins.
This isn't a baby. There's a cartoon clock. Totally different thing.
Yes.
Now, if there was a baby cartoon clock, then we'd have problems. Okay.
You just hate kids.
That's true.
Hey, look. I might be down on the show, but look, I'm curious to see where it goes. So, yeah. Is this just not what you thought it was going to be, or I'm trying to figure out what I thought it was supposed to be?
Say that again.
No, it's exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Oh, okay. So you weren't very interested at all, anyway.
I think I was more interested when I saw the trailer than the actual episodes. Now that I've seen it.
Okay.
There's not the extra hula. Like the little hurrah is missing. A little stuff happens.
Is it that there's no heroes? That it's just a villain?
No, but there's no hoorah. Let's jump off a plane to I don't know. There's
he literally jumps off a plane in the first episode.
That's true. He actually does.
I didn't miss that.
That's funny.
Cool. Nothing happens. So I don't know. Like, look, I'll obviously going to keep watching it, and maybe it will completely turn around.
Yeah, I think you're unlikely to have like big, movie theater quality IMAX action sequence in this. Maybe you will. I don't know, but I don't think you're going to. I just don't think it's that type of show.
I mean, I don't necessarily need those, but I don't know. The moment hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
like in the Vision, there's a couple of Vision and Wanda. There's a couple moments. I'm like, yeah, this is it for the show. This is awesome, and the moments happen in Winter Soldier, and they just haven't happened yet for me in this show yet. So
that's fair. Yeah.
I like the how they're trying to explain very, very difficult concepts with very, very simple things, and yet it works so perfectly with how Loki is a trickster. So it's the like salad example, right? Where he takes his salad and he's explaining the chaos and all that. You can take care of everything and stuff like that. And at the like apocalypse events or whatever, the Nexuses.
And I did like that part. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. And he's basically messing up Owen Wilson's character salad to prove a point. But yeah, like I like the chemistry between Loki and the agent that Owen Wilson plays. I like the chemistry that the two of them have.
Oh yeah, they're really fun. I like Owen Wilson too. He's he fits this role well. Mm. I don't need him being an action star running out there like fighting villains or anything like that. But the way they play him in this is really fun.
He's like the Coulson of the Time Bureau.
Oh yeah. He definitely a little bit fits that Coulson role. That works really well. This is always a cool character. Well, if there's nothing else,
I think that's it.
We're gonna wrap up. Next week we'll definitely have more to say about Loki. Is it 6 episodes, 8 episodes?
6 episodes. It's a shorter one.
Yeah, it's short. Yeah. We will have an episode on Black Widow in a couple of weeks. In August, we'll have an episode on Suicide Squad. Unfortunately, I am pretty confident that will really be it for our movie episodes through this year, because I don't want to speak for everyone here, but I believe the vast majority of us are not planning to go to the movies anytime through the rest of this year, at least not.
I don't have any plans.
As of current, I really hope Disney changes their minds and continues to release stuff same day on Disney Plus. We'll see what happens. I believe Kevin is going to actively go see everything in the movie whenever he possibly can. But I know I'm
trying to watch The Furious.
You gonna go?
Well, I'm trying to book the entire theater.
Oh, okay.
But the Icon theaters, for some reason, I only have it till Thursday, and it comes out on Friday. So I'm like refreshing every day to see
if it's added.
Yeah, to see if it's added. That is just not one of them. I mean, I could go to AMC, but it's quite a bit more expensive over there.
They might not do it opening weekend for those movies.
Oh, is that what it is?
Maybe that'd be my guess. I would think they would let you do it later if they let you do it at all.
I just don't want to be in a movie theater with strangers, so I don't want to do more, and then it's just me and my friends and family.
Yeah, I'm. There's the Delta variant out there. There's still pretty significant coronavirus cases happening. California's low, but I'm still pretty hesitant about.
I said it before, man. I'm in bubble suit.
You're gonna be the bubble boy.
Furious 12. 9.
I ate indoors in a restaurant with 100% capacity, unmasked, and I was mostly fine. But
somebody sneezed and you freaked the fuck out.
I'd be more scared of that than going to the movie theaters. At least I get to keep my mask on, and I get to wipe shit down. I'd be more scared to go to indoor dining than. Yeah,
it'll be a limited experience going forward, I think.
I'll be a lot more scared of that.
Yeah, we'll see what the rest of the year's like. But I'm very, very much hoping they will continue to release that stuff digitally. We'll see what on Disney Plus. We'll see what happens with this year. But at least we got a couple things to talk about, and definitely Suicide Squad. The new trailer is super nice, so I'm looking forward to it.
I actually have to say I like the previous trailer 10 times more.
Yeah, I think this is just a bit of an like an actiony trailer.
This is an established story trailer, not
a little bit. Yeah,
not a catch your attention. Let's make let's hit the jokes and play the cool music and stuff. But I still love the music in this trailer as well. So
yeah,
I actually need to go rewatch it.
I saw that a bunch of people were mad about Bloodsport. That's it.
Bloodsport. Yeah.
Bloodsport.
Having the same story as Deadshot.
Yeah. Well, no. They were like, oh, he put Superman in the ICU. Like, I can't believe they're gonna have like this random dude like punk out Superman. It's like, once again, it's literally from the comics in his first appearance. It's exactly what happens. He shoots Superman with a kryptonite bullet. It's literally the origin of the character. So there you go, guys.
Hey,
it's
stupidity
canon.
is rampant everywhere, and it sucks.
I mean, I roll my eyes when movie people are like, "That sounds dumb." They wouldn't do that. It's like, well, no. I mean, that's like literally exactly what they did. So it's fine. That's okay. Everyone's gonna go see Suicide Squad anyway. It looks amazing.
I can't wait for those McFarlane toys.
What's up?
I can't wait for those McFarlane toys.
Oh yeah, it looks so good.
Are you gonna let people know when they can order those, right? Because
yeah. Gonna get that Polka Dot Man toy. So
and they build the King Shark.
Anyway, we're gonna wrap up now. We've got some people to thank. Our top tier Patreon backers: Joe Duff, Craig Anderson at ClearPath Coaches, Jimmy Rivera at the Social Forum Podcast, and Talon Bray. Thank you all very much for the support. At patreon.com/Comic Conspiracy, where you can kick us a couple bucks a month for hosting this podcast. Head over to comicspiracypodcast.com, Apple Podcast, and Spotify for all our previous episodes. You can head over to comicsconspiracy.biz. That is our storefront.
You can go there and you can get a couple. You can still get some of those titles we talked about on the sales charts, and a hot new.
All the rumors that I'm hearing, people are talking that White Rabbit is going to be the villain in the Silk movie. Disney's Marvel's White Rabbit is going to be the villain in the Silk movie. And so if you want the first appearance of Silk and White Rabbit teaming up, you want your Silk #4 variant cover out this week. I'm just hearing people are talking. I'm hearing it's a hot issue. I'm hearing you should go buy about 75 copies. What have we done? Like 69 copies? No, I've got 69 copies. It's all over eBay. I saw it all over Twitter. It's crazy. It's just blowing up. It's blowing up.
You can get your copies from Comics Conspiracy.
Yeah. We snagged a few extras. I got a few before the Scalver started getting to them. So grab a copy from us.
What's our limit on them?
Strict limit 1 was strict limit 2 per customer because we don't want these to blow out. I mean, I know people are going to be flipping these on eBay, so we want to keep that limit low. But save a couple for our best customers. ConspiratorBrock.com. Sorry, ConspiratorBrock.com. That's ConspiratorBrock.com. Yeah, that's what I just said. That's your website, Brock. And you can go see all Brock's videos on there. Yep. Charlie has the Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension podcast. Go check out his work over there. Talk about Doctor Who. Kevin Sharp has the weekly interview series called Between the Panels at fanbasepress.com. And my wife, Leanne, has her website at leannehill.com. You can also find her artwork at etsy.com/shop/LeanneHillArt. You can follow all of us on Twitter. Ryan Higgins Ryan is myself. Brock is Brock Sager. He's back, baby. Brock Sager. Toby's Toby XI. Charlie's Insanity and Chaos. The store is... Kevin is that Kevin Sharp. The store is Comic Store.
You're just letting Kevin run with the store Twitter for like a day.
Yeah, you can listen to the Geek Box, which is why we did not record an episode last week. We had to do a very special E3 episode of the Geek Box, which we recorded Tuesday night, of course, after the Nintendo Direct, which was just amazing.
Quick question: Are you going to get everything posted up for the Comic Conspiracy like normal after this? You've been a little.
I'll put this episode up.
I know, but you haven't really gotten episode 30 or 503 or 504 up on the
You talk about like the post? Yeah, I haven't put the post up in weeks. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But the Geek Box is up. You can listen to us talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy game that's coming out. You can hear us talk about all the Nintendo stuff. Mario, Metroid Dread, Metroid 5 is coming out. How fucking hot is that? And our good friends over at Manga Machinations. Go check out their podcast about manga and anime. Thank you guys very much. We'll catch you next week.